For our first project on this channel, I want to create a cradle for these two electric screwdrivers. These are my favorite electric screwdrivers. What do you think?
I think we should 3D print something so it could go on this wall since it's kind of bland.
You thinking like that?
Yeah.
I like this idea. Okay, let's go and get that done. Let's start with our 100 first. So we're at about 100. And we're going to go about here. And then this angle is somewhat important because this is the angle it's going to be leaning in. Okay, so we'll measure that in just a bit. And then it'll meet here. Okay, so I said that this angle is important because I think this should match the lean angle, right? So if it's, so you can actually set that now here in the dimension tool. You can grab this and that, and then just decide how big you want that angle to be. 25 plus 90 is 115. All right, so here to here is about 100. And then here to here, like that, we said that would be around, now it's starting to look a little bit like what I had in mind. We know we want to be about 70 out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to create two planes. We're going to go from the top plane and we're going to offset about 70, which is where we want to be. Okay, so now you notice we now have another plane here. In order to do this angle here, so that this angle is like 25 degrees, if this is 100, what does this have to be for this angle to be 25 degrees, right? The way we can figure that out, opposite over adjacent is actually tangent. So tangent of 25 equals question mark over adjacent is really what we want to find out, okay? So this is 31, okay? Which basically means this is the remainder of that. So that would be 69. Okay, so then what we can do is we can go up here to 69, here 29, here however much we need to go, and here however much we need to go. And then, so we'll now set our measurements. So this was 69, this was 29. And then the key here is this angle, and that'll fix everything. So that needs to be 115. Perfect. So that's basically a smaller version of that now. And I think that's good. So if you look at them now side by side, you have this. So now we're going to use loft. So we use essentially this one and then this one. Yeah, look at that. And then what's really incredible is that we don't have to design the other side because we can simply click mirror and say entities to mirror is this. And then we want to mirror it against this top plane. Oops, this top plane. So now we have our shape, and it's this really cool looking shape. Now you notice like the process is a little bit organic, and we don't really know if this is going to work or not, right? It'll print really well. This shape so far will print absolutely flawlessly. But we haven't put the holes in it yet, and that's what we're going to do next. All right, so somewhere around here, we want a hole that goes down quite a ways into the cavity of this thing. So how do we do that? We could do a 3-point plane. So it takes 3 points to define a plane, right? Because 2 points to define a line, 3 points to define a plane. All right, so now it looks like we're successful. So we can do this 3-point plane. And you notice this 3-point plane now is giving me a place where I can actually work from. I really like 36 for this. 36. All right, I like that. Okay, So now we just want to extrude straight down. And we want to remove material in the opposite direction. So like that. So if we do 42, oof, we just came out of the back end of this box. So let's not go 42. Let's do 38. Only other thing now is how do we install this thing? I don't want to see the holes. So it's possible we can make the holes inside the cavity. I think that'll be really cool. And you can imagine if my hole was like right there, it would be a little easier for me to do that install than if it was any deeper. If it was down here, I would be able to do it. And I kind of like the idea of like here and here. But how do we put a hole there? Okay, so what I'm thinking is I actually want a new plane that's offset from this, whatever this plane is. This is our right plane. So let's go ahead and create a plane that's offset from, it's an offset from our right plane, but it's actually this other way. 4 millimeters should be more than enough. So we're going to go ahead and create a 4 millimeter. We'll do 4.5 just to be on the safe side. You see, this is just hanging out in thin air, right? But this is a really cool trick because what we can do now is we can actually go ahead and extrude that, right, where it's removing material in this direction. Okay, and we're going to do that to about, I kind of like the way it is right now. Okay, you see, so that's our preliminary hole. That's where our screw is going to go in, but it doesn't come out the other side yet, right? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in here and we're going to sketch now on the surface of this circle. And we're going to go ahead and do another hole, 3 millimeter hole. So that would be 3. You know, I might do 2.5. So you should have your screws in mind before you arbitrarily assign these numbers. Okay, so I think I'm going to use these screws here. And if we measure with our calipers, or first make sure we're at 0 here. We are. And if we measure with our calipers, looks like we've made a colossal mistake. This plane is, so this needs actually to be, maybe say 9. It actually needs to be 9. And then, so it'll resize everything for us. And then over here, 4.9 I think is enough. All right. Yeah, I think that is more like it. And you notice everything automatically gets mirrored on the other side. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is, is it really going to hold? Is it going to fit right? And whatnot. Now you could obsess over that kind of thing for hours, or you could just print it in like an hour and see how it turns out. Now, the nice thing with this shape is it may not need any support. So it prints like that. And I don't think we're going to need any supports in this direction because those circles are smart enough. They'll kind of small enough. They'll kind of support themselves. I mean, the holes. Let's slice this thing. So I'm just going to go to print, select the .PETG, and I'm going to go ahead and click send, and that will begin the print process. Let's go ahead and check in on our print. It's coming along quite nicely. It's going fast. good. Okay, looks like the print is done. Now keep in mind, this is our first print, so we don't have very high expectations, and I can already think of a few things that we didn't do here that I would have liked to do. It looks like it's pretty well stuck, so let's go ahead and grab it. All right, looks really good. A lot of sharp corners. I forgot to put some softer corners around there near the end. So let's see how well this holds up. That's looking pretty good. I'm not mad at that at all. Not really considering reprinting at this point necessarily. We might just go ahead and install this version, but let me go ahead and show you what I'm gonna do here. I kind of would like to deburr this thing. This is like a little deburring tool that I picked up. Pretty cheap stuff, pretty common. I can leave a link to one for you if you like. So that kind of gets rid of these sharper edges also. And I just come in with like a hand vac later and clean these. Now, this is really not necessary for a tool that's going to be used in the garage to hold another tool, because it doesn't really need super soft edges. It's not going to be handled every day, but it's just kind of nice to get used to cleaning up your work. So let's go ahead and test out our screw to make sure that's going to work. Yep. So that's working really well. One thing I did want to point out is I like to design my pieces so that they don't need supports as much as I can. Now, sometimes you just can't get away from it. So I'll show you one that I did yesterday. It's a little holder that I made for my board. I actually just finished this yesterday. I didn't do a video on it. It's super neat. And I obviously needed a support for that, kind of the hook in the back. So that kind of stuff you're not going to be able to do without a support. That goes there. That goes there. It's not like a super tight fit, so I could easily take it up and put it back in. I think that's what I want. But yeah, this I'd say is done. So hopefully you learned something from this project. And we don't always get lucky and get things right on the first try. I wouldn't really call this like a perfect design just yet. Look over there. I wouldn't look at this as a perfect design just yet. But it's workable, right? And it was creative. This is actually my son's idea of like kind of making him go separate ways like that. Because, you know, you could make a super boring design, but it's always nice to just get a kid involved, you know? Have him give you some ideas. And don't immediately say no, because they'll come up with like funky ideas like this. And it was initially my first response was like, no, I actually want something that attaches in here. But then I do have all this unused space, and this is actually a really great spot for me to grab this tool from rather than rummaging through there for it. And it goes back quite nicely. There's always ways to improve things, guys. Don't let that stop you. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good enough. This is good enough. And the best place to start with your 3D project is just wherever you are. Start with something. Print it. Go ahead and print it. Don't wait until it's perfect to print it. Just print it, and then you'll notice that sometimes it's just good enough the way it is. Right, Grant? Yeah, sometimes it's just good enough the way it is. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. We're gonna just live with it for a little while, and if we don't like it, maybe we'll reprint it in a different way. I just need to come in with an eraser and delete those little erase those little marks that I made on the wall. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you in the next one.